it's lights out and away we go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for wherever you're listening, and welcome back to the GT UK F1 podcast. I'm joined by David.
Hey, everyone.
And Alan.
Hello.
He's back, everyone. He's finally back.
Yeah. See, somebody missed me.
Well, I didn't had to pick on him all the time. It gets a bit unfair after a while. It's like kicking a puppy. You feel a bit cruel after a bit.
And I will already put an apology out to the Apple listeners here, so I apologise for that.
Oh, yeah, we're now on fruit-based podcasting services.
So, Japan. The Japanese Grand Prix. Well,
Suzuka.
So,
Great intro this guy put on with Jack Black.
Yeah, obviously because of the launch of the next
Super Mario Galaxy.
movie,
Yeah. Didn't catch any practice.
Nope.
I didn't catch all of qualifying either, just the way things went.
Oh, I did. I caught quality in the race.
Yeah.
That's the podcast, folks. Join us next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
Actually, quite interesting now, because you can go back to the results, but you can actually go back and do a lap by lap on it.
Can you?
Yeah. You can actually go back and do a lap by lap on them now.
Oh,
I can't see that bit.
no, I'm not saying that either.
What, on the results for... Go on the results. Go on the schedule. Japan.
You go through there.
You've got report, results,
Yeah, I see that.
highlights.
I was in the results side.
Yeah, and then you've got lap by lap.
Okay.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. They're doing our job for us. This is nice.
Yeah,
Tell me
no.
about it.
Well, folks, just go and read that. Come back here in an hour and all will be good.
But, like I said, didn't see any practice, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. But even just looking at this lap by lap, you know what I mean? It's just
Too much. Oldham.
it's where to start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
If we got to qualifying, because none of us really saw practice.
Well, no, but with quali, it was a case of the way they've done the sessions now is 18-15.
Yeah, with the two extra teams.
18-15, and then is it 13 minutes for Q3 these days?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's the usual bloody suspects, really, isn't it? For quali. Bar
Two Aston
Behrman.
Martins, two Cadillacs.
Really?
Yeah, poor Behrman, who came into this race 5th in the championship.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realise that, but yeah, he was 5th in the championship up to this point, and then gets
Yeah,
knocked out in 18th place.
It was so close between him and Albon anyway.
Yeah, but
0.002 of a second.
Yeah, but the problem is what's up with the Williams as well. It's not really.
The Williams is heavy. That's the big. What we have now is the Williams car is heavy.
Yeah.
Was it before season? They were talking about season like 30 kilos overweight.
Yeah.
Which, while 30 kilos to us doesn't sound a huge amount, in that world, That's huge. Most F1 cars you will find will actually scale out below the minimum weight because they'll then use ballast to get them up to weight.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The thing is,
The
though, you've
idea
got
is
to
if
take
you
in.
use ballast, you can sort of place ballast where you want in the car.
Yeah. Plus drivers' weight as well.
Yeah.
Now let me put
You know,
this.
so for them to be overweight at the start, it's because weight is everything. It's more fuel being used, which means you've got to carry more weight to carry extra fuel. It's one corner is fast, one accelerator is fast. It will literally hurt you everywhere.
Let me put this to you then, to you both. Could we see Aston Martin, right? As stupid as it's going to sound, could we see Aston Martin binning Honda off mid-season as an engine supplier and getting somebody else?
What are the logistics of that, though?
I know it would be a lot of logistics, but
And also, I mean, what I can't remember off the top of my head if this is a rule or not of how they weren't going to allow one engine to supply too many teams. I can't remember if it was actually a rule or it was just sort of a spoken thing. Because that's why Aston Martin leaving is what allowed Alpine to come in. Because the idea was they didn't want Merc supplying the entire grid. They don't want it to be a one-make championship.
well, no.
So they physically blocked one team from having one engine from being too many cars. So to me, the logic is they couldn't go back to Merc. I don't think FIA had let them.
Well, the choice would be either we get an Aston Martin with a Ferrari donkey in it, or we get a Aston Martin with a bloody Red Bull powertrain in it.
Ford.
Or Audi.
Or an Audi.
Or they do some kind of deal with another manufacturer to bring in, something else, which I mean isn't off the cards, but that usually takes more than half a year to set up, even with Lawrence Stroll's money. I don't.
think-
The trouble is, go on, Alan. You go ahead while I formulate what I'm trying to say a little bit.
I think what they could do is possibly mid-season turn around and say they were actually going to terminate the contract with Honda at the end of the year. I don't think they'll do it completely straight away mid-season because I don't think they'll be able to get another team in quick enough.
I would be, and also bear in mind the engines aren't. There's no guarantee that an engine from another maker would fit that car.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have to start redesigning the whole back end of the car because that's money in the cost cap era. So I agree with Alan. My point was going to be that the space of the logic, trying to change the fly, I just don't think would happen. I could agree with Alan. They might try and cut a deal for next year. But then again, who's to say by the end of the season they can't get that Honda working?
Yeah.
I mean, look, McLaren fought with the Honda engine for years and could do fuck all with it. Handed it to Red Bull, and he won 4 World Championships.
Yeah.
It's an insane thought of how much of that development must have been Red Bull powertrains.
Yeah.
That Honda have left Red Bull and the engine's gone to absolute shit.
Well, yeah, it's clearly proven, but how much is Aston Martin willing to take?
Well, they've taken Lance Stroll for about a decade at this point, so clearly quite a lot.
We know that.
I can't see a mid-season change. The amount of work that would take.
Yeah.
Forgetting any penalties for breaking a contract. Now I know Newey has stepped down as principal, hasn't he, at this point, to focus on development.
Yeah.
So they're clearly throwing everything they possibly bloody can at this project.
Well, what the problem was, I don't understand. I never understood why Newey became team principal.
Because Lawrence Stroll turned up with a suitcase full of notes.
He's a technical partner within Aston Martin anyway, so it wasn't exactly going to bother him.
I know.
I
Unless-
didn't understand that decision really behind it because there was.
The only other reason I could think of, and this is purely speculative, so don't take this as gospel. I wonder if, because at the time, Jonathan Waitley wouldn't have been an option. He was still very much tied into Audi. Maybe it was just a case that there was nobody else that knew he wanted or trusted.
Gotta get
Yeah.
Mike
Yeah.
Crack.
I'm not saying he was, but I'm just saying that because if he knew he's gone in at this level of management, if he turned around and said he didn't want Horner, he didn't want Mike Rack, he didn't want anybody from the lower, he wanted experience. Not a lot of options.
Well, no, but it's
So
like
he turned around and said, "Soddy, I'll do it until a Jonathan Wheatley's become available."
it's
There was
whether he-
rumours of Horner, wasn't it? But that would never happen.
I wonder if there was some bad blood there, and if Adrian knew he didn't want Horner.
maybe.
I wonder if there was some, and this is it. And once again, speculative. Don't take this as gospel. Anyone listening, this is pure speculation. But I reckon Newey went in wanting. He wouldn't want a new team principal. He wanted somebody with experience, and there wasn't many options to choose from.
Well, no.
So,
But
like I say, he turned around and gone, "Well, I'll do it," and then they've managed to coax Wheatley away from Audi.
Have they though?
The last I heard, that was all of a done deal.
That was rumours. Because I believe Jonathan Wheatley had come out himself and said that don't believe the rumours.
Who was actually in charge this weekend
Where at?
at Japan? Who was in charge of Aston Martin? Who was their team principal?
Don't know. I have no idea.
Good question, though, isn't it?
And yeah, to be honest, the other option is for them to do an almost McLaren style thing. You know, Zach Brown's very much the face, but he's not the team principal.
No,
Right.
that's mate boy.
Andrea
But,
Stella.
yeah, but it's like Mercedes put in bloody Bradley Lord as vice team,
Yeah.
or whatever he is.
Vice team principal, basically,
When Total's not there, basically.
yeah, which is what he was doing anyway.
Yeah, but they've made it official.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, isn't a bad fit.
So yeah, just
But it, the Aston Martin is struggling with that Honda engine.
Alonso's going to need new bloody hands by the time he's finished. I'll tell you that.
Well, I think he actually managed to keep his hands on the steering wheel this time.
Like I said, it's 2015. He's Alonso in the McLaren all over again. He gets a Honda engine and he goes to absolute shite.
Yeah, but it just it just amazes me how they're doing that. You know, they were doing as fast as they were down the straights or whatever at some point, and it's like he took his hands off the steering wheel. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I'm
Just
thinking,
goes to prove
Jesus
what
Christ.
just proves what a driver he actually is.
I get it. He only did it on the straights, and he obviously couldn't do it mid corner. But just to even contemplate taking your hands off the wheel, or whether it was a hand at a time. I don't think it was both hands at the same time. I think it might have been a hand.
There was both hands at the same time going down the straights. Especially in the
You've
middle
got a lot of
part.
faith in the tracking of your car to run in a straight line, haven't you?
That's what I mean. If that had hit a bump and Jesus, okay.
But back to quali. As we said, at the bottom, you sort of understand.
I don't know. I mean, Perez outdoing Bottas this time for once.
Yeah,
I got a feel for Cadillac at the minute. We know they're a new team and everything, but
I don't think they're doing that bad. They're not doing as bad as Aston Martin.
no,
You know,
but
considering that's a whole new project, new engine and everything. I know, so that's Ferrari. Considering the project, I actually don't give them credit. They're not doing terribly.
no, I'm
No.
not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're doing that bad. It's. I just don't. I think Perez. I don't want to say, but I think Perez is struggling already. It just.
Yeah, but it was always going to be a struggle for him.
Yeah, but he hasn't seemed to have got as much grip on it as Bottas has.
Bottas has got quicker running, which is true. Yeah. Now maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe we're seeing the time that Red Bull did actually brakes on him, Perez.
Because I was watching Summer and on YouTube, and it was Perez when he was at fuck, what were they called? Oh God, Stroll was alongside him.
What's India?
And I know it was the Sakir outer loop, but just back from them when he went from the back of the grid to win the fucking thing.
I think the
I
only
just
thing
don't.
can see regarding that is obviously Bottas was still with a team last year. So obviously he's still getting, regardless whether it's sim training or normal
Development.
car training, you know, he's still there, whereas Perez had complete time off. So it's then getting him back into that routine.
I suppose so, but I don't know. Like I say, my evaluation of Perez so far is he has seemed to, with Cadillac, he seemed to have struggled a bit more. And I mean, I can't compare him to likes of bloody Lindblad. Because obviously Lindblad was in I suppose he was in a lower formula, but then I
like Lindblad.
Not because of the fact he's British.
No.
He seems to be doing well.
He settled.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that he beat Liam Lawson, but hey ho.
We'll go on to that in a bit.
No, I mean in qualifying, he beat him.
Well, that's it. I mean Q2. Yeah.
But how much must it be pissing Max off at the moment? The fact that one of the sister teams beating him, and the second driver's beating him. At this point,
Didn't just beat him; it knocked him out.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Let's not mess around. Lindblad knocked Verstappen out.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a shock for Q2, but I think it was a wrong setup choice for Red Bull with Max.
I don't know. I know the engines. They've said the engines. They've got the engines side of things down. It's a chassis that they're struggling with.
Well,
Not just Japan.
Oh well, we know that.
You know, so they are still working on that chassis. So all teams are bringing in new upgrades every race. But as much as I may not like him as much, Max is still giving it a go.
Oh, we'd always given it a go, and then I just think I think once
he's getting asked the same questions.
Oh yeah,
every time. Are you going to quit the end of the season? Basically.
We had a real falling out. We freaking reported, didn't he?
It was during the media day, I think.
Yeah.
He would not answer any questions until one reporter left because of, I think it was a question he asked last year regarding Spain. I think it was asked it at Abu Dhabi regarding the incident in Spain, which he had with Russell and things like that. And they had a big falling out of that. And that reporter was back, and Max wouldn't answer any questions.
I mean, and people will say, "Oh, well, that's just Max being Max." It's like, well, no, that's just Max standing his ground, basically.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to answer anybody's questions if he doesn't want to.
The Kimmy approach, I like it.
I mean, fair enough. If Max leaves, if Max does leave the sport, yeah, it'll be different. But I know exactly where he'll fucking go.
Mm.
That's
It
what
ain't in Formula One.
No, it'll be NLS, the Nürburgring stuff with his team.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get disqualified, which wasn't the driver's fault. Wasn't the driver's fault. It was the team's fault.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I did see that. But it's just one of them things, though.
Now,
That happens.
let me put this to you quickly. How long do you think Calapinto's got left?
If Ollie Behrman gets hold of him, not long.
Foreshadowing, we'll come on to that.
Yeah. But I actually think Renault have settled down a bit now. I don't think he'd be served out. Well, Alpine, sorry.
Now,
Freudian slip there.
because if Reynolds back in the sport, Alonso would fuck off back to him.
You see, well, technically, yeah, Alpine is Renault. I don't care what anyone look what engine the back of it. Technically, it's a
I
Renault.
know. It's not a Renault in the back of it, anyways. It's a Merc.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't think they're going to be doing the. I don't think we get a lot of that mid, especially this season, because there's so many other variables with the new stuff.
Yeah, but it's not just that, though, is it? You haven't got the likes of other teams trying to push that this time.
Also to mention who they kind of got. I mean, I don't think Doohan is. I think Doohan's now off doing Japanese Super. Is it Super Aguri or something?
The Super Formula thing.
That's the one, yeah. Still trying to take Suzuka first corner flat out, no doubt.
You got to look at it, though. He's still got 1 point this season so far. After 3 races, he's still got 1 point. That's not bad for him.
But
considering there's more experienced drivers behind him that have no points.
Correct, yeah. There's some names you would not expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to think, though, Gasly's just wiping the floor with him again.
Yeah, that's Gasly for you. Yeah. I said it earlier on this season. I said, well, didn't I? If that Merc engine's anywhere good, we'll see Gasly start to perform.
You did.
You know, he's going to start 8th in the championship, so he's not doing terribly.
No.
So the Ferraris as well decided that they'd switch on a bit. And so did the McLarens, to be honest.
We've definitely seen a catch-up this weekend, haven't we? Because for the first 2 races, the Mercs were in a different league.
Yeah.
We sort of saw... I mean, Oscar Piastri finally got to actually race, which is impressive.
Yeah, but the McLaren's in quali. I had a feeling they were never going to be able to stick it to the Mercs. Or the Ferraris, really. But Lando just... Don't know, Lando just doesn't seem... For a guy that wants to try and defend his title, right now, just doesn't seem on it. Unlike Oscar, who's sort of kind of bouncing back a bit after finally being able to qualify and...
Well, not so much qualify, it's more just race.
Well, that's what I mean.
But it's the likes of Audi that are impressing me in quali.
Yeah.
They're not doing
Bortoleto qualifying 9th.
Yeah, I think. Don't know. I just think Hulkenberg struggled a little bit. Hulkenberg
Yeah.
was maybe, like we say, a wrong setup choice on some bits.
The problem is with the new rules and regulations, it's hard to get the setup that they want properly.
Yeah, but the setups vary from track to track anyway, so.
Yeah, but obviously they got no real data per se regarding how the car's going to do this year because they're new engine, new cars.
Yeah.
Well,
Whereas before they've always had that data from the previous year.
well, the only data they've really got was testing data. But
Yeah.
that's not going to help really in the likes of Japan and stuff.
No, because obviously they go, a lot of the teams obviously last year before, they all go by previous data, previous setups that they've had within that car. Oh yeah, you can try and stick that within the car, but because the cars are so different, it's not going to always work. So it's trying to find that balance, and a lot of teams just can't find it. I think that's what the likes of Hulkenberg, Max, Lando, they're struggling with. Is finding that right balance, especially in qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I knew it was going to be a bit of a straight shootout. Between the Mercs. Knew the Mercs were going to battle each other. It was going to be it was going to be either George or Kimi that got pole.
I think Kimi was on it all week, though. All weekend.
He's riding the high from last race, isn't he? He's still in a bit of
I'm
saying I don't know the exact details, but apparently George's car was suffering issues where he managed to change gear and press a button at the same time, and he put the car into a regen mode.
Oops.
We're going to end up with, by the end of this, we're going to end up with patch notes for cars, aren't we?
Yep.
Probably.
Fixed error where it takes screenshot when pressing X button. Press 10-second penalty for Ocon, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
So, but you knew it was going to be straight heads up between George and Kimi. I'm glad they got the announcement right this weekend.
Foreshadowing.
Well, the guy who got it wrong last time might have probably been sacked.
But yeah, there wasn't really anything that would keep me on my seat for qualifying.
Not really. So, did we see any penalties or anything applied to starting
Not from
grids?
the end of Wally, I don't think.
I don't think there was at all. All
No,
22 cars made it to the track.
Yeah, the first this season.
Which was a surprise. So obviously going off the start, Mercs they got bogged.
Went nowhere.
Kimi did.
Both of them got bogged.
Thing is, we all know that Ferrari at the moment starts like an absolute demon.
Yeah.
But the Mercs, like I say, I think George Russell's car was wrong in qualifying.
Yeah.
But because of Parc Fermé conditions, they couldn't change it.
Yep.
Unless they'd have pulled the car from Parc Fermé, it would have meant him starting last.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been happy about that.
But it was
they were kind of stuck with what they had, which wasn't helping him all race.
But it was a good start by Piastri.
Yeah.
A good start by Piastri.
And actually, Leclerc was actually quicker off the line than Piastri as well.
Yeah, but we know that Ferrari's pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, to me, it had its moments of an exciting race. There was plenty of battles, but then it kind of settled down a little bit.
There was plenty of battles, but they weren't showing them at the right time. Or you get in a small little screen.
TV direction's a bit shocking this year, but
Yeah.
They're trying to avoid showing a lot of the clipping and that, aren't they?
yeah.
Now, also,
Well-
I think we should mention as well before the race, one of you two might be able to actually explain it better than me. There was the announcement about the change in the actual power delivery. Was it they were dropped from 9 to 8 megajoules of power for the start of the race? Or
Bear with me 2 seconds. So bear between my last statement.
Was it the start of the race, or was it qualifying that they got the extra 1 megajoule, which would take up to 9?
No, so for the energy recharge for qualifying had been reduced from 9 millijoules to 8.
Right.
right?
So it was actually reduced, not increased.
Well, they get the extra. Sorry, no, I got confused. They get the extra megajoule during the race as part of like this boost bollocks, whatever it is.
Yeah, they got the boost system, which they had at the beginning and things like that. So the boost is basically, if you're within a certain distance of the car in front, you then get an extra boost, which goes towards your energy charge that you already have anyway. So it's an awkward one because they're still using the same power.
I said
Even
the
with
batteries are
that
only
boost,
so
it's
big.
still using part of that same power. So you've got to try and make sure you save enough to be able to use that boost and still have. And it's just I mean, one of the easiest ways to describe it, I think Jason Button did it quite well, is KERS.
Yeah.
When they had the KERS system in, that's all this is.
Yeah.
An updated version of KERS, basically.
To be honest, it makes the racing interesting, but
it is leading to more passes. But is it passes or is it almost like the old-fashioned yo-yoing? Because like one will pass and immediately go back the other way.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at during the race where Russell would overtake one of the Ferraris coming out of what they are. Get down the chicane, gone, first place. Oh, he's overtaken, he's got in front of them. But when you come down that straight, they've been overtaken because they've used all that power.
Yeah.
They don't have the boost, they've got no energies left. So is it worth it?
I say on balance, yes, because I think we're having a better.
I mean,
We are definitely getting better racing from it.
Oh yeah, we are, and I like the aero wing, where it's instant and every car has it, rather than being like the old DRS system, where you've got to be within a second, and if you're not, you don't get it.
Well,
this time everybody gets it, so it sort of has its.
Yeah, but they've still got to be They've still got to be within a second to get boost.
Yeah, on the boost side of things, yeah, but on the aeros,
the active aero, yeah, no, that's everybody gets that. But for the boost, the actual overtake boost thing, they still have to be within DRS range, as it would be to give them the extra. And it's just, I mean, I don't know if they've made the change yet where the is the ICE's doing more than the electric?
I think it's
Well,
60-40 at the moment. I think I've read it's 60-40 at the moment to IC to
Well, it's supposed to be getting to about 50-50 by the end of it.
It was 50-50 originally, and then because of complaints, it got put more back onto the ICE than it did the electric system.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, last I heard it was 60-40.
I don't want to get censored by F1.
Yeah, you do.
But
Soapbox.
But silencing fans, the people who actually like pay for subscriptions, pay for fucking tickets to go to races and everything. I've seen on social media generally people put in decent stuff, and F1 have just gone and deleted it. They've just wiped it out. Obviously, they've wiped the criticism out, but they've also, if somebody said, you know, oh, it was a good race, but, you know, a little bit of like, well, a little bit of constructive criticism, it gets wiped out off social media like it doesn't exist.
Never a good sign.
They've been doing this since Australia. You know what I mean? Not just to the social media side as well. It's like we're on about the TV direction.
yeah, see, for me, I mean, this weekend especially, yes, it's great to see the racing up front. But actually, there's a lot more going on behind that you're not seeing properly. And if you do, it's in a small little box.
Yeah.
And I
Or
noticed how they're focused with mainly the two cars they were mainly focusing on was Max and Hadjar.
well, of course they were kind of gonna, weren't they? But they couldn't really focus on the Aston Martins.
You
Um.
think they spent time focusing on the leaders?
Well, they
Maybe?
did. They did at one point. They were more focused. They started focusing more on Russell and Hamilton, and then Leclerc, and
Well, yeah, they ended up doing it. So what was it? It's the top. Well, can we sort of checked out?
well, yeah.
But to start, even just to start off with before we get to that bit, it was more they concentrated on first to fifth or first to sixth, and that was it because they were always the closest together. You know, it's top 5, top 6. They were the closest together because of who they are, basically.
Yeah, but
The cars were doing great.
Problem is, they've always seemed to have done this.
The problem is, though, in the first part, you were getting some really good racing, some really good overtakes in places you would not expect them.
Well, yeah. But you didn't, like I say, like going back to like lap 16, you know, they were showing like Russell and Piastri Russell and Piastri battling for the lead at that point. But also in there, they were showing Antonelli in a little box.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck? Half the time you ain't going to see that little box.
Yeah,
Then,
if you're not watching on the biggest TV in the world.
yeah, you ain't going to see it. It's like if you're watching on your mobile or something like that, you know what I mean? If you're watching through a certain app, Sky Go. Not sponsored. Basically, you're not going to see what the hell's going on in that box.
Right.
But honestly, it's Norris seemed to be struggling. Norris just couldn't make waves on that, and then a bit later on, Hamilton just couldn't make waves. Like, it was exciting, but then it just goes meh. As it did the same with China, kind of did the same with Australia a little bit. Once you get a slight bit of field spread or
Yeah,
management,
it dies out.
once you go into that management phase, it's gone. You know what I
I think
mean?
was what I mean. Hamilton, I think, went into management phase quite early on.
Well, yeah.
And you could tell he did because obviously
He dropped
the
back.
way in which he did drop back. He was managing those titles because obviously I think they wanted to go as far as they could.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know teams were struggling with the medium tyres there. I think McLaren were one of the only teams that can actually test the hard tyres all weekend. So I think they were a bit cautious.
Sure.
But I know we all know the hard tyres, obviously, you're going to have a longer life with them. Yes, it's going to take, I think it took 3 laps for the hard tyres to actually kick in properly to get to temperature, stay at temperature, and give them the grip that they wanted. So it was always going to be one of them things. How will they do? But question for you both now: do you think Colapinto should be blamed for the safety car? In any way? For causing Birmingham crash?
How could you blame that on Colapinto?
Now, yeah, how could that have been blamed? Because it was closing.
Oh, no. I agree with you both. I'm not blaming him.
Was closing speed.
Yeah, and it's not like he deliberately pulled the car slow thinking I'm going to trip Behrman up here.
No, 45 kph was the difference. Especially coming off a corner. Behrman had nowhere to go.
Well, it's into the hairpin, wasn't it?
No, not the hairpin. It was
the spoons.
Spoons, yeah.
Just before spoons. So as he's coming around that little bend bit before you hit spoons, that's when it happened. So obviously you think Behrman's coming around that at full speed. Colapinto's lost the momentum. He's got nowhere to go. I see what
and maybe there was a slight
do.
overreaction from Behrman, but when you're suddenly on top of a car at that speed, you're going to overreact. That's not.
Yeah, but the problem was what the hell was Behrman supposed to do? Just hit the back of the Alpine?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think we're all on the same page here.
Because
I think what Colapinto tried to do was, because he knew he was slow and there was always possible cars coming behind him. Yes, okay, he looked like he was going left, making that block. But actually, I think what he was trying to do was he didn't realise how close that car was. So therefore, he's going left to try and stay out of the way of any traffic behind.
I think he was trying to pull it tight.
Yeah.
It should have gone right.
Yeah, but in his mind, you're cutting right across the track, which if there's a car bearing down on you and you cut across the front of him...
Well, Behrman was on his left.
Yeah, but the road naturally is going to push... Where Behrman found him, the road naturally will push cars to the right. If you get what I mean. It was a left hand. Behrman caught him basically as they rounded a left hand bend. He was on the left hand side of the track. Now, if he'd have gone right, he'd have been going right across the track. I actually agreed. To me, his best thing was to do what he did, which is try and cut tight to the side he was on.
I come
And
off
give
that
the-
racing line.
Give the car behind him as much room as possible on the other side. Now, it was a pure bad luck thing.
Yeah.
To the exact spot where Behrman met him, and once Behrman's car hit the grass, he was a passenger.
But it wasn't just that, though, as well. He had a little bit of what do you call it from the engine?
The power loss.
No. It's where we saw.
Clipping.
No, it's where it put a couple of. Basically, it was like putting the handbrake on. You know when it sent a couple of cars round last time?
Yeah.
They think that as he'd broke, because he'd had to react that quick as well, it was basically locked the rear end up.
Yeah. But once the car hit the grass, it
And
was
at that
just,
point,
it was,
yeah.
Yeah. That sort of speed as well. Yeah.
50
50G.
50G.
Well, the trouble is, he met a bit of wall that wasn't tired, was it? It was basically like a little bit of foam padding and then straight onto concrete.
I don't know. I thought
I don't think there's any
It did its job.
tires there.
it
But
did have
it stopped the car. I don't think I had tires. I think I had like a little bit of that. What do they call it? Tech Pro.
Tech Pro.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of that, but it's not generally a place where cars go in, so they tend to not always.
And they know that
Yes.
that they'll put a change there, though, won't you?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think because it's also a emergency exit point as well. Where we actually hit was literally right on the emergency exit point.
Yeah. So
Obviously, that's not always as protected as you think it would be.
it's an escape road, basically.
Yeah.
So the FIA have put an official statement out following this crash at Behrman's, and they've said that since their introduction, the 2026 regulations have been subject of an ongoing discussion between the FIA teams, power unit manufacturers, drivers, and FOM. By design, these regulations include a number of adjustable parameters, particularly in relation to energy management, which allow for optimization based on real-world data. It has been the consistent position of all stakeholders that a structured review would take place after the opening phase of the season to allow for sufficient data to be gathered and analysed. A number of meetings are therefore scheduled in April, because obviously we've got no racing,
Yeah, we've no racing in April now.
to
Thank you, Donald Trump.
assess the operation of the new regulations and to determine whether any refinements are required. Any potential adjustments, particularly those related to energy management, require careful simulation and detailed analysis. The FIA will continue to work in a close and constructive collaboration with all stakeholders to ensure the best possible outcome for the sport, and safety will always remain a core element of the FIA's mission. At this stage, any speculation regarding the nature of potential changes would be premature. Further updates will be communicated in due course. So what do you take about that then? What's your take on that?
Pretty much, okay, well, we're in new system, they're going to review, but what I'm going to put to you there is, so do you think something needs to change?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you change in this situation?
Try and find a way to reduce the clipping. Because that seems to be a little bit of the issue with the crashes.
Well,
Not
the
just
only way you're going to reduce the clipping is you have to let them have more power, and they have to have enough power to basically be able to go the entire lap without needing to regenerate.
just get rid of the hybrid electric and just let them have a screaming V10 on sustainable fuel.
That isn't going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen, but it can be done. It's been done.
The thing is, don't forget,
Vettel
one of the big
fucking
reasons.
Vettel proved it.
I'm not saying, but one of the big reasons why we've had these changes was actually to bring Audi in, and it's because obviously a lot of your road cars now are hybrids. As you know, Alan has one.
Yeah.
So they're keeping the technology. They're trying to keep the technology relevant to the road cars to give the manufacturer some reason to actually be in here.
But the problem is, I think, like I said, the FIA as well, the way the FIA say they'll review everything, but it's, I don't know, it's just a lot of drivers have been complaining about the clipping. So I think that will get looked at.
Well, like I say, your choices really are, if you don't want them clipping, you have to either give them more electric so that they can do more time between having to regen and clip. But that means making the batteries bigger, which means adding weight, which means redesigning the cars.
Alan?
You know, none of it's
I'm on the same line as David. I don't. They can't really do much. Yes, I'd love to see them make changes, but it can't be done theoretically. So they're not adding more weight to the cars, simply then having to redesign the cars and everything else.
because the amount of power they can hold is a physical thing. Your batteries are certain. So it's like a fuel tank.
Yeah.
You can't hold more power than the battery can take.
No.
So, like I say, you've got to reduce the amount of electric they're given in one go to stretch what they have, which means giving them less power.
Yeah, but
which basically means slowing them down.
The thing is, my interpretation of that, of them saying about looking at the energy and obviously, you know, because in terms of the Behrman thing and his back brakes, just basically, you know, he broke, the engine tried to regen, had gone, you know, automatically into this regen, locked his rears up and kind of screwed.
That would also suggest that maybe they had the brake balance set a little bit too far to the rear.
Yeah.
It's not just that though. Look at what happened to, which one was it? One of the Audis that just spun.
Look at Max in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, Max in Australia qualifying.
Because of the way the engine, the regen.
But we are in, once again, we say, a new era. The drivers and the teams don't maybe fully understand things yet.
But it's up, like I said, the FIA are looking at making these changes.
Oh, and things always need to be under review. There is changes we can make. I mean, we are not engineers in this department, so I can't give you.
No, but the thing was, they managed to go from a 50-50 split to giving the ICE more than the electrical system. Now that was possible. That must have had to have been software. Technically,
yeah. But that's
so
what you could say there with the regen. Is that a software issue that they need to reconfigure. Or is it something completely separate? You know, as I said, we're not engineers in this side of things, so I don't. You know, yes, okay, you put your foot on you tap the brake, you can get regen and things like that. Fine, but there must be a software link. There must be a link between that the computer on board the car is registering that it's doing that, and it's not just trying to stop the cars from locking up. There has to be some sort of software system in place for that to happen, and that could just be a simple tap of a button. As we know with a lot of software, it can fail.
I always thought regen braking was when you didn't fully brake.
Regen braking, right? I can only go off, like I said, obviously, if I've got a car with it. What regen is when, if you basically at any point, if you've not got any kind of power on, so you've either got the throttle down or traction control, the car will regen brake, and you can feel it. It physically puts the brake lights on, does the car? Because you can feel it drag the car back.
Yeah, well, like I said, the old ST.
Now, like I said,
the ST line that my mum had regen braking, but I remember was that happened when I didn't have throttle or brake on.
that's it. Yeah, they generally do. That's how the MG works. You don't have. If you've got throttle on, it won't do it because it's fighting against itself. Now he'll do it when you've got the brakes on. He'll come on with the brakes with you to a,
I know
degree.
that. But this is what I'm trying to get at. When in terms of was it the regen, did that regen braking system screw up?
On a road car, I would think it would be physically impossible for the regen braking to lock the back wheels.
Yeah, but the F1
But
cars
road
don't.
cars are not built for F1 drivers to drive.
But the F1
and it's assumed that F1 drivers are at a slightly higher standard than the average road driver.
And the F1 cars don't have traction control on.
The F1 cars aren't also sort of built with comfort in mind.
Well, not really, no.
Do you know what? I was actually I was reading a very interesting article to do with did you know the original brief for regen braking was to actually have it on all four wheels, not just the back axle?
Well, that could have been fun.
No, and do you want to know why it was denied? Because they were worried the teams had used it as a form of traction control.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
You know, you could picture the team setting it up so it helped the front end to turn by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generally, it was generally the original brief for regen was for it to be on all four wheels.
Yeah.
It was also denied because apparently the World Endurance Championship cars use it. And they were worried that that'd bring Audi in with a massive advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they already build them. But I mean, what I would say is let them do this review and see what they come out with.
Yeah.
We've now had, let's not forget, this is the first 3 races we've ever had these systems.
Yeah, it's gonna be teething problems.
We'll all learn. Everybody's learning, including the people who've built the goddamn cars.
Clearly, for the fact that when McLaren had their battery issue, they had to have a Merc people in from Merc to look at it.
Yeah,
because
they're probably using Mercedes battery, to be fair.
Yeah, it is Mercedes. And McLaren, they had to get the Mercedes personnel to come in to have a look and to explain it better to McLaren to help them understand the situation and the issue. Because McLaren were completely baffled by it, because even though it's the same component that was wrong, had problems with, it was 2 different things. So they couldn't quite work out what was going on. So obviously, Mercedes come in and said, "Right, this," and they explained it to them, so they know for future reference what to do.
But yeah,
and help them deal with it.
So yeah, so after obviously Behrman, he crashed. He got out of the car. He was hobbling. Well, not hobbling. He was
limping, obviously. obviously hurt an ankle or a foot or something wasn't happy because he wasn't walking right.
Hmm.
But as we said, it was a 50G impact, which triggered all the medical response because it automatically does at that
Yeah.
power.
So then
We
obviously,
bought out a safety car and
we had-
yeah.
so we had the safety car, and now, what did you think of Russell's little message?
Unbelievable.
No, not that one.
You mean,
Unbelievable!
I thought there's a little wheel gun in them. This is where I got the clip from.
Yeah, not that one. The
Well, let's be honest, he was unlucky. One, he pitted the
Yeah.
lap before the safety car was called.
Mm.
Oh, do you mean the message about how, if it wasn't for bad luck and this, that, and the other?
Well, Russell, no, because Russell asked whether his teammate is going to go in the place we trained.
Oh, yeah. So obviously Mercedes had thought about a safety car situation and had...
I think that's very clever of them.
Whether it worked or not is a different matter because he didn't seem to do very good off it.
Antonelli got a good start away from the
Yeah, but
safety car restart.
But Russell didn't.
No, but that's why he asked, is Antonelli is he going to go where we trained? Which basically was meaning he was hoping that Antonelli was going to get a jump. Maybe Piastri would have followed him, then that would have helped him. But it kind of didn't because Piastri got caught napping.
Like, my question to you would be, or to both of you would be, would Antonelli won that if we went for the safety car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's been between him and Piastri.
Yeah.
I think it's been closer, but I think the Mercedes has the edge right now.
I would say Antonelli would have won that. Even though he had that bad start, I think Antonelli would have won it.
I mean, obviously you're playing the shoulda, woulda, coulda game, and anything.
Oh
could happen.
yeah.
But I still think I still think he'd have been the one to beat. Like I say, I think maybe been closer.
Like
I
I
mean,
said,
yourself, Alan, what's your thoughts?
I think it would have been a lot closer. I think the top three might have been top 4 would have been quite there. It could have been gone either way. But the form that Antonelli is on, especially after last weekend or the other weekend, then yeah, he's got that boost, he's got that confidence, and he's settled. He is proving himself this year.
Oh yeah.
I know we're only 3 races in, and anything can happen. I know that. But he's proven himself as to why he's in that Mercedes car.
I don't think George likes it very much at the minute.
No.
But then obviously, what?
It's still too early to sit there and say,
oh, yeah.
Are they going to fail? It's the same rumours as last year with Lando.
Yeah,
and Oscar.
that was never going to enter that. Plus, I don't think Mercedes will play it the same way that McLaren did.
I think they'll just let them race and see who comes out better off. It seems to be what Ferrari are doing at the moment.
Yeah.
With Hamilton and Leclerc, let them race. And they are producing some cracking racing at the moment, those two Ferraris.
Oh, yeah. Let's be honest, as much as I am not a Hamilton fan, he does seem it's nice to see him actually seem a bit more positive and upbeat
and not completely down in the dumps.
Yeah.
He's got a car this year. That's without a shadow of doubt, the car is there for him. And I think he's enjoying it. I say Mr. Leclerc, I think Leclerc's enjoying himself in that car this year.
Okay, no, my other comment I'll wait on that one. Because there was something else I'm coming, but that'll wait till later. So, but I don't know. It was just really wasn't.
Question for you both then. Guardian Driver of the Day.
Don't know who was driving.
Hulk won it, didn't he?
No, Hulk didn't win it. Oscar won it
Oscar won it, wasn't it?
with 23% of the votes.
Well, that's a low
Now.
percentage to win it.
Yeah. My question to you is, do you think he deserves to be Driver of the Day, or was there somebody else in your point of view?
I mean,
I voted Antonelli, but
I forgot to vote at the time. I would have put it to Antonelli before Piastri. Not saying that Piastri had a bad race, not trying to put him down or anything.
I'm going to shock both of you then.
Well,
So I
you
didn't go for it. I actually went for Gasly.
I can see your logic. I can certainly see where you are.
yeah.
I think he had a fantastic race, especially defending against Max.
Old
Yeah, I mean, at one point, old teammates, but at one point, even Max waved goodbye to him.
Well, Matt commented and said that Alpine's quick.
Yeah.
I say he's got that Merc engine behind him, which is always a good thing.
And then, so what did you think of the little bit of the incident between Hamilton and Norris then?
Well, where Hamilton went off track and Norris said he needs to get that position back? No, he didn't. There's no way Norris would have been able to catch up, overtake him, and everything. That, yeah, I think it was the right decision. That Hamilton didn't need to get that position back. Simple as that.
Well, Norris did manage to get him, but as soon as Norris got him, they threw up the no further investigation.
Yeah, but even before that, the thing that I was trying to say was Norris was, because Hamilton went off track and Norris wouldn't be able to get in front of him. He wasn't close enough because obviously he's at that final chicane. There's no way Norris would be able to get around that chicane and get in front of Hamilton. Anyway.
Yeah. And then there's a nice little battle towards the end between Russell and Hamilton, and then basically trying to go after Leclerc.
I think the best battle was between Leclerc and Hamilton. Going around that first corner, so close as they were, fantastic to watch.
Speaking of penalties, I must admit I didn't see actually what caused it. But at one point I see Lindblad got a black and white flag or
black and white flag for moving under braking.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the incident, but if we're talking about like slaps on the wrist, I definitely saw that across the top of the screen at one point.
Mm.
Yeah, very early on in the race.
And then obviously we had Jack Black doing the flag
waving the flag. Yeah.
I love Jack Black. I think he's amazing.
Oh yeah, he's just stunning.
I mean, they had the entire bloody Mario cast there for Super Mario Galaxy. Jesus.
I'll tell you what though, I don't know if you actually caught any of the build up or anything like that. The bridge walk.
Yes, I saw.
It's not the same about. It's not the same about Martin Brundle. Don't care what people say. Martin Brundle would have been straight there, regardless of whether they're going to be talking to him or not. He would have been straight at Jack Black talking to him. Those two seem to back off talking to celebrities.
Well, no, yeah, but the problem is not being funny, but it's not what the fans want. Every time Martin's grid walk is on, I mute it. I'm sorry, I'm not being disrespectful to Martin Brundle, but I just don't want to hear it. It's just bullshit. As much as I love Jack Black and everybody, they were there for a genuine reason because they were promoting the Mario Galaxy movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jack Black, is a motorsports fan anyways. the one that voices Princess Peach, she's been to Japan before. She's been to many of the other races. That is fair enough. It's the other fucking celebrities. If they've got an interest in the sport, fine, talk to them. If they haven't, just fuck off the grid, basically. You know,
Yeah.
I'd rather Brundle go up to the likes of fucking Gordon Ramsay. I know Gordon Ramsay has a big interest in the sport. Clarkson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Celebs that are actually interested in the sport.
And that's
not
what
just,
he's trying to do.
and not
He
just
does try
there,
this.
but, oh, look at me, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. Because they're promoting some fucking music track, but they're not interested in the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you on that. Which is why Martin will actually try and say, right, this person's on the thing. We've spoken to, and he knows that he's spoken to them. He's seen them at these Grand Prix before.
Yeah. But like I say, half the time, I just mute his grid walks because half the time they're talking as some celebrity that doesn't really have a fucking clue about the sport.
Yeah.
Too busy trying to promote their own.
Yeah. And it's just like, look, just get off the fucking grid. Just piss off. Yeah, you've probably been invited or paid a fucking ton of money to be there, but it's for your own gain.
I will be honest, I was half expecting Jack Black to jump on a guitar with the national anthem.
Pretty much.
I was so waiting for it. I don't know about you two, but I
It
was so
was a
waiting.
pretty good national anthem by a lot of
It was-
standards, wasn't it?
It's the shortest national anthem,
But they managed to pack a hell of a lot into it.
but it was a rock. They done it as a rock theme. I was so waiting for Jack Black just to stand there with his guitar, just rocking out to it as well.
Oh, he's come up behind with a piano.
You know, I think it would just been absolutely amazing. I mean, after that, you saw him into DJ booth and they're doing
Fucking Super Mario.
no, they're
Yeah.
doing Thunder, weren't they?
Yeah. But-
They were all in there.
But the dancers that they had on the grid,
Yeah, it was that
Yep.
like dance troupe thing that's been going mad around the internet for a little while.
yeah,
They were on BGT.
think so.
Where they had, I've seen
seen
them
them
across the
do
various
ball.
lines of the internet.
I think they were BGT, and they are very scary. And I will admit they are
Oh.
scary. But they are
Oh, was
very,
it? No,
very-
it was American's Got Talent, I think.
Was it America?
I think so. It was
I know
one
it's
of
one of
them. It was one of them.
Yeah.
But they're
as I said,
fucking good.
they're so in sync.
The choreography is absolutely amazing from them. Now, did you guys catch the cool down room?
I
Yes.
didn't know, so I have to back out that one.
Did you hear Oscar's comment about the mushroom?
Yeah. That was Charles as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, they've been referring to this whole thing as like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Something like, did you have a mushroom in your car?
there was something to do with now I see what you mean about the mushroom, was what Oscar said. And it's just like, okay. And it was right just after the reaction to Behrman's crash when they were shown that.
Yeah. The thing is, what made me laugh was Kimmy telling them all their tactics.
Yeah, just a bit. It's like, fuck's sake, Kimmy. Keep your
Everything that they had planned and everything else, Kimmy was telling them both. It's just like, it's like, yeah, okay, nice one, Kimmy. Although you didn't hear about the podium. He had a different bottle.
Yeah, because he's not old enough to drink in Japan,
Not enough to drink.
so he had rose water.
Yeah.
Which is good for you, because they were literally spraying the champagne around, so he would have ended up
Yeah.
proving easy just to give him some of it at that point.
Well, apparently, like when they do the celebrations afterwards, you rent the fucking Ferrari garage.
Oh, he legged it, didn't he?
Help me, ran towards a Ferrari garage. But I believe him and Bono have been practical joking each other.
That was after China, where he literally got the bottle and poured it down his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think that's one of the best podiums I've seen for a long time, though.
What, Bono, George,
Kimi and Lewis.
Kimi and Hamilton.
I think that was an amazing.
So, normally at this point, we would do the F1 fantasy scores, but we can't get onto them.
Yeah, F1, obviously we have been censored by F1 after what Chris said earlier, because they're now lost.
Technically, just to put a disclaimer, we couldn't get into it before we started recording, so.
Before we get FIA's lawyers coming down on us.
Yeah.
I think from what I said, I think I came. I'm second overall. I know that much.
Well, I know at one point I did have a sneaky look and I was bottom.
I did have a look. I think I was second from just this race.
I think I won this race. I was second overall behind Daniel.
I don't know my overall. I think I'm still at the bottom overall, but it's just in terms of.
I don't think they. Overall, I don't think it's changed.
I
could be wrong,
I've
but
got months to sort ourselves.
Well,
I did make a few changes for this weekend as well.
Yeah.
I did, and I need to. I think again.
I took Norris out.
That's a bold statement.
And put Russell in.
I've got Russell.
I think I've got Kimi.
For my drivers, I put not drivers, for my constructors, I put in Ferrari with Williams.
Don't know. I can't remember. But at this point, I know we're only, 3 races in. Technically, Kimi's the youngest driver to be leading the World Championship at this point.
Yeah.
He's the youngest driver ever to lead the world. He's the only teenager who's ever led the World Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
fair play to him.
So basically, I'm going to just do something a little bit different. Obviously, we've got the likes of Stroll, Alonso, Perez, Bottas, Albon, and Hülkenberg yet to score. You've got Colapinto in 16th, Ocon with a point each, Sainz and Bortoleto on 2 points, Lindblad and, Hadjar then Lindblad on 4, Lawson on 10, Max only on 12 at the moment, Gasly on 15, Behrman's now down to 7th, because he's got 17 points, but he was 5th. Oscar on 21 points, Lando 25, Hamilton on 41, Leclerc on 49, George on 63, and then Kimi on 72. What's George's number?
I was just thinking.
I'll tell you what, if it's a rule that they've got to be on the number of points of their number, Norris is fucked, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's 63.
Isn't George 63?
Yeah, because he was supposed to. Cause he almost looks like GR the way he writes it on the card, didn't he? Was the old.
Yeah.
So he's basically got his race number as his points.
Yeah. Lando did a similar thing with number 4. The way he wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like LN.
So there's basically 2 teams that have not scored this season: Cadillac and Aston Martin at this point. Everybody else,
You get Cadillac a pass.
yeah, I know, but everybody else, bar them, have scored at least a point or 2. But it's Williams and Audi level with 2, Racing Bulls on 14, Red Bull Racing 16.
Level with Alpine.
Level with Alpine on 16, which Alpine above Red Bull at this point at the start of a season is unheard of.
And it'd be more heard of because Haas are above them all.
Yeah.
Haas is in 4th. You what?
Don't read too early because don't forget. Look at last season where Red Bull
Oh,
were
yeah.
Yeah.
this was at the halfway point and nearly took it. So don't.
No, but compared to last season, Red Bull would at the top last season.
Hmm.
And I know before you say we've changed regs, changed regs, all this lot. But for Red Bull to be that low already
I know.
is an interesting sign. You've got Haas in fourth, McLaren on 46 in third, Ferrari on 90 points already
Mm-hmm.
in second, but Merc at the moment on 135, just after 3 races.
There's 135. I mean, not on my head. That's near enough. That's not far of a perfect score. You know what I mean? Because we don't have the point fastest lap anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
So 75, 3 first places plus 3 second places, 18, 36, 54. 75 and 54. So that's out of 139, would that be potential max?
Possibly. But
No, I must have got my maths wrong there because the maximum total they could have got is 129. So I'm missing. How many points is it for second place now? Is it still 18?
Yeah.
We've had a sprint race, of course, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We
So out of a potential 144 points, have got 135.
Yeah.
So they've only dropped 9 points so far this season. Or average of dropped 3 points a race.
Yeah, which
is insane. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close.
Well, yeah.
Some might say it's
Unbelievable!
He teed himself up for that one. He really did.
I've got to tee myself up because I can't rely on you two anymore.
Oh, well.
I spent the time making that button. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it.
We know. All right. Anything you two want to add?
We'll wait for the next race.
Yeah, just we hope some teams use this wait as a chance to actually put some decent cars together.
We'll see when it comes to.
And we apologise to anyone who's awaiting this podcast because we will not be doing any in the gap when there isn't racing. So
No.
I'll check out the gaming channel instead.
So, basically, as you know, because of current situations in a certain place, Bahrain and Jeddah have been cancelled. So we're going to be moving on to Miami in May, which means it's 5 weeks. God, 5 weeks without racing.
I know.
And these are the times. It's a sprint weekend, and it is in UK British summertime. I had to think about that one. I've just remembered the clocks did change.
Yeah, we lost an hour Sunday morning for that reason.
Yeah. So 1st of May we've got practice 1, 5:30 till 6:30. 1st of May we have sprint quali at 9:30 till.
That'd be PM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till 22:14. Always that strange one for the sprint quali, but yeah. 2nd of May, we've got the sprint at 5 PM till 6. We've also got qualifying on the same day at 9 PM till 10. And then the race is on the 3rd of May at 9 o'clock.
Oh, why can't we have the racing a day later on Star Wars Day?
Screaming may have to get cancelled for that day, unfortunately. But we'll see. So yeah. I'm going to just say thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to Alan and Dave for being here.
Welcome as always.
Pleasure as always, and welcome back, Alan. It's good to finally have you back.
Thank you very much.
And we shall see you for the next one. So, until then.
Adios, amigos.
Later, folks.
Goodbye for now.